Hey, two-thirds of us deal with the problem of addiction in the United States. It is truly an epidemic. And if it's tearing your family apart, if you are exhausted, if you are tired of the roller coaster of drama, chaos, crisis, you are not alone. And if you're nodding your head to the fact that you've got a family member, which pretty much everybody in the United States does, who is dealing with the issue of addiction, then this is for you. I'm Tanya. I'm the host of the Sober on Purpose podcast. I am a Harvard trained theologian. I have all the coaching certificates anybody would ever need. But even more than that, I am a person who has lived through this situation. I completely understand what is going on when you are trying to support someone you love who is suffering with the issues of addiction. It could be anything from substance use disorder, alcohol, drugs, pornography, workaholism, gaming, videos, all of those things. And you're wondering if one little misstep will lead to a blow up. So all families have issues. All families have child raising issues, conflicts with their spouses, money issues, problems getting, the things that they need and what's important to them. Everything is heightened when addiction is involved. Everything changes when addiction is involved because you've got one person who is numbing out their feelings, and then the rest of the family is supporting that role. And that's exactly what I said. They are supporting that role because a family is either contributing negatively or positively. There is no neutral in here. If you've got a loved one dealing with addiction, you are either supporting it or you're actively working to change it. And that doesn't mean nagging. It doesn't mean tough love. It doesn't mean yelling. It doesn't mean kicking people out. What it really means is looking for the pain. What is happening with your person in addiction is they are dealing with the pain in the best way they know how. We don't punish people who break their leg. We don't punish people who have a terminal disease. What we do is we support, love, and care for them and try and connect. So if your loved one had cancer, you would learn everything you could learn about cancer, and you would create an environment that supported them and supported their ability to heal. That's exactly what we do with the Grace and Recovery Framework. We know that wishing, hoping, begging your loved one to stop your suffering is the wrong way to go about it. They are suffering, so you are suffering, and the whole family is suffering. Are you ready to break that cycle? What we know is the current recovery rate has a 60 to 80% relapse, that really 1 in 10 are able to kick this. Do you want to raise that opportunity? Do you want to change that so that they really have a long-term opportunity to maintain a healthy life and to build a healthy family legacy? Scientifically, we know that the opposite of addiction is connection. The opposite of addiction is connection. So what happens when a person numbs out with video games, pornography, substance use, workaholism, is they are disconnecting from what can truly give them life, from connection with family, connection with a higher power, connection with God. And I want to invite you into this, into the piece that really nobody addresses, is that this is about the pain that is going on for that person and for the family, not really about the substance use. Yes, the substance use is what is presenting itself as the problem, but the real problem underneath is whatever pain has caused the requirement for the substance use. Now, where does this leave the family? What you've been told is you are powerless, that you can't really help this addicted loved one, that you need to kick them out, you need to disassociate, you need to walk away. But remember what I just told you? that the opposite of addiction is connection. So instead of doing what could help your family member, and we know scientifically proven that long-term sobriety, the highest chance that it has, 70% recovery in long-term sobriety, is when the family gets well, when there are changes in the whole family system, and when there is a support system for the person who is dealing with the pain that has driven them to some type of use. What if you no longer were seen as the bad guy in their life? What if you were able to end that whole process of sorting through lies, manipulations, and misinformation? I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to click on the button below. I want you to read the testimonials. I want you to think about the energy that you're spending right now. And then I want you to think about how having a supporting community, having a loving community that goes about this in a way that connects people rather than pushes them away. And I want you to step into the opportunity of having the life that you've always wanted. So here, there are really two opportunities here. Two opportunities. So you can keep doing what you're doing. You can keep responding to the crisis, answering the phone calls, showing up at the hospital, worrying, trying to figure out a plan, maybe paying for rehab, maybe continually showing up and doing the same thing over and over again. That's certainly one option. And you can keep hoping that sobriety just happens, or you can take back your power because you're not powerless. You're contributing. Positively or negatively, you're contributing. But it all starts with you. That's where people get confused. If they would just fix it, if they would just take care of it, it doesn't happen that way. Long-term sobriety requires the family to get well too. Requires you as the person loving someone with addiction to make shifts and changes that create better boundaries, regulate your responses, that make choices that align with your values, that keep you healthy so that you can be available when that person does decide to shift their life. So again, there's two options. Do nothing or take your power back and make these shifts so that the person in your life has the best opportunity to live a long and healthy life, to stay connected to you and the family, and to build a generational family legacy that creates health, that creates God-centeredness, that creates this family that loves spending time together. So the choice is really yours. I want you to click over and look at the testimonials. I want you to look at the opportunity that the Grace and Recovery format gives you. And I want you to spend some time in prayer. Is this for you?